named Aquila.
And found a certain Israelite named Aquila living where? Start over, I love this. Here who is the world? Read.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
But Israel, the Israelites going to be saved in the Lord. Read on.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded.
You should never be ashamed. That is why right now, moms, on this ground here, we could stand up and say proud that we is the Israelites. You understand? You shall never be ashamed or confounded. You can't even come with me with that nonsense. Because we come here taught. We ain't come here to learn. We come here taught. Read on.
World without end.
World. Israel. What? Read that over again.
World without end.
Moms, who is the world without end? Who is the world without end, moms? Let me read it over. I want my mother here. Read it.
Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
Who going to be saved in the Lord, moms? No, the Gentiles. Where the scripture say, Israel or the Gentiles going to be saved? Read it over. Let my mama here. Read.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
The Gentiles going to be saved in the Lord. Who?
Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
The Israelites going to be saved in the Lord. Read on.
With an everlasting salvation.
With an everlasting salvation forever and ever. Forever, ever? Yes, forever, ever. Read on.
Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. World without end.
Israel is the world without end, moms. John 17 and 9, New Testament. New Testament. Isaiah. Then we go to John. New Testament. Matthew, Luke, and John. New Testament, not Old Testament. Read.
John chapter 17 and verse 9. I pray for them. I pray not for the world.
Christ saying, I pray for them. I pray not for the whole entire world. I'm not praying for the other nations.
That's right.
Read on.
But for them which thou hast given me.
But for them which God had sent him to die for. Give me that in Matthew 1. Come on, Matthew 1:22. Matthew 1:22. Let me see who sent Christ to die for Israel. Let me see. Read.
Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21. And she shall bring forth a son,
which is Mary, shall bring forth a son. Read on. Let me see who he going to save. Read on.
And thou shalt call his name Jesus.
And thou shalt call his name Jesus. For who he going to save? Let me see who he going to save. If it's the Gentiles. Read it slow for my brother. Read.
For he shall save his people.
He shall save his people, who is the Israelites. From what?
From their sins.
From their sins. Who was given the law? Who was given the law so that they could sin? Come on, man. Come on. No, Moses was given the law to give who? All praises. Let me see again. Psalm 78 and verse 5. Come on, man. Brethren, you be going and answer. Hey, we're going to Cornelius after, right? We're going to Cornelius after, right? You will give me Cornelius 10 and then 38, right? Watch it just now. There were 88. 1 Corinthians 18. 1 Corinthians 18 and 1. Moms, my brother want to know where Italy is. The Italian. 1 Corinthians 18 and verse 1. 2 Corinthians 18. Acts 18 and 1. Acts 18 and 1. Gosh, I think from the Acts 18 and 1. Let me see, moms, where the Israelites them was coming from. Let me see. Acts 18 in the same book as Acts 10. Read on.
Acts chapter 18 and verse 1. After these, Paul departed from Athens.
Read on.
And came to Corinth.
To the Corinthians, which is the Israelites. Read on. Let me see if it's the Israelites or not. Read on.
And found a certain Jew named Aquila.
And found a certain what? In Corinth? In Athens found our?
And found a certain Jew named Aquila.
And found a certain Israelite named Aquila living where? Start over. I love this. Read it.
Acts chapter 18 and verse 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth.
Paul departed from Athens and he came to the Corinthians. To Corinth. Read on.
And found a certain Jew.
An Israelite. Read on.
Named Aquila.
Read on.
Born in Pontus. Lately come from Italy.
Lately come from what?
lately come from Italy.
Bring it out! The Italian. We're telling me about Cornelius, the Italian. The Italians when they was calling the Jews, man. The Jews when they was calling the Italians is Israelites. Now, I'm going to show it here. I'm going to finish it here, read on.
With his wife Priscilla,
My Priscilla, read on.
because that Claudius had commanded all Jews.
Claudius, a white governor. Claudius. Yeah, Claudius, do read it.
Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome.
Claudius had. What he said? Say it over for my brother.
Because that Claudius had commanded all Jews to depart.
Claudius command. He make a declaration. He make a command that all the Jews, the Israelites, read on.
All Jews to depart from Rome.
That all the Jews, the Israelites, depart from Rome. Read on.
And because he was of the same craft, he abode with them and wrought for their occupation that were tent makers.
There was tent makers. It had a church in Corinth. Paul used to go and teach at where the Israelites used to dwell.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word